Good morning, guys and gals. I don't know. It's early. I don't know. It's probably 30 minutes till 9. I've been up for a couple hours. So, today, I'm using GPS off of the same phone that I'm recording on. My GoPro and helmet are here, which means one thing. I'm going bike shopping again. I'm going to see. I found a bike that I like. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is yet. I might just wait until I buy it for you guys to see what it is, and that's probably what I'll do. But essentially, I've got to go into the capital of Missouri, which is Jeff City, to go look at this bike, and hopefully load it up into the back. I'm actually in a truck for once. Not a big truck, but I'll manage. But my goal is go ahead and go see if I can't get this bike. It's either this one or I might settle. If I settle, it's going to be for a bike that I, generally speaking, don't want, but it's a Ducati, and you know what they say about Ducatis, so I'm like, hugging the corners. People in their small cars want to act like they need the entire road because nobody knows how to take this turn. Nobody takes this turn properly. But essentially, I have to go 30 minutes, and I know these roads aren't the usual ones because I moved, and I know I haven't posted in a while because of school. So there's that. I almost dropped my helmet on me. Should probably move that. But yeah, like, I'll come through here, and there's, like, potholes and stuff up here, minus the hole in the truck, and, I ain't just smelling nothing but dust this morning. It is kicking my butt. But, essentially, I'm just going, and I'm getting going to try to get a bike today, and hopefully drive off with a bike in the back of the truck, because where I moved, I can remove a portion of the railing to drop the tailgate right onto it, and then basically, or right behind it or next to it or whatever, and then roll the bike right off the truck. So that's my goal. And I know how much I love sport bikes, but I'm trying to get something just a little bit different today. Because I've been looking into a lot of sport tourings. And, ooh, look at that one. That's a pretty bike. But, anyways, I digress. I like my sport bikes, as you guys know, but I have T-Rex arms. Like, super short arms. So I'm looking at sport touring because, well, all the horsepower, a little bit more comfortable ride, especially on long distance trips. But if I get this bike, then I'm going to go down to Richland and St. Robert, or maybe just St. Robert. I haven't decided. But essentially, my goal is go down there, pick up a comic that I had graded, because this bike I wouldn't even need a backpack. I could drop off the truck and go straight down there on the bike. But I would be essentially going straight down there, picking up this comic, maybe watching a movie, and then I'm thinking about going out to Evansville, Illinois. There's some drag boat races going on this weekend, and this is the only reason that I chose not to go, is for bike shopping. Otherwise, right now, I'd probably be sitting on the water, on the lake out there, and I'd be pretty much, getting sunburned, probably wind up with some kind of fungal infection, because that always happens. Usually on the arms. I usually break out in a rash on my wrists, which isn't terrible, but it's annoying. So there's that. Also, this truck's speedometer is trash, along with the power steering. Look at all that play. So it's kind of one of those things where I have to take my time. And that's why I'm leaving so early to get everything done, because once I'm on a bike, I'll take back roads for days, and I'll take them fast. I don't care. But this thing, I have to basically hold completely this way in order to go straight sometimes. So this isn't the easiest truck to drive, but anyways, I digress. I've seen a lot of new videos and stuff out, and a lot of new bike like promotions, and I noticed something. After I said that once I reach like 250,000 or something like that subscribers, that I would start doing giveaways, I noticed that a lot of others have started doing giveaways. Granted, I probably got like, I don't know, 8 subscribers, maybe? I don't know. But it leads you to think, like, the difference between the giveaways I want to do and the giveaways that I'm seeing is like your ride clutch giveaways where you have to buy something in order to enter. But there was one cool one I saw. You had to basically subscribe to the guy's channel and you would be entered for the giveaway, and that was for like a PS4 and Xbox One. I don't remember that YouTuber's name. I just saw him last night. But he does a lot of like comic, like cinematic universe, like Marvel Cinematic, DCU. So, like MCU and DCU. So, if you like that kind of thing, I don't know his name. I'll try to get it posted in the link or in the description. But if you like those, I would check him out, and I would also check out Ben Shooby-Doo. He does a lot of comics, but mostly comics, and a lot of the new movies that come out. So that's what I would look into. What else is there? I know there's a lot to go over today. I've been doing a lot in power sports, so like currently I'm rebuilding an engine. I just disassembled it this week, and it's a lawnmower engine, so it's nothing fancy, but it's a Kohler one, and the flywheel on it was dumb. And what I mean by that, I don't know if you can hear me over the wind, so I'm gonna close that. As much as I hate the dust in this car, or truck rather, might as well be a car with how small it is. But essentially, the whole principle of it is the flywheel doesn't come off regularly. You're supposed to basically just undo a bolt, like loosen a bolt, and pull it right off. Well, what I did was I took a crowbar to one side, or a pry bar rather is probably the better term, and I just popped the top of it on 2 sides. Equal pressure, and you can do it on one side, it doesn't matter. I've seen it done on one side, so I watched someone else do it. But you put 2 crowbars on the side, take a hammer, give it a light tap downward on the handle, and it'll pop that flywheel off, and you can continue on with your day. With your, engine or whatever. That's for a Kohler lawnmower though. That's got like a 765cc engine that pulls like 25 horses. But yeah, it's like we just assembled the engines, and we're going to be reassembling them. I want to reassemble the 400. The problem is I would have to load it up into this truck, and I hate this truck, by the way. But I have to load this bike up into this truck using virtually no ramps at all and no rear suspension. So I basically have to pick it up and set it in there, and then figure out how I'd get it out of the truck upon getting to the shop. And that's kind of the biggest thing. Apart from getting the parts, I can get them at a cool discount through the school, but really it's one of those things of like, I have to basically buy a new rear shock. I have to buy maybe a new computer. Part of why I want to go to Richland is to go see, maybe hook a battery up to it, to the cables, and take a key to it and see if it turns over. But another thing is I want the dealership, and I'm going to call them out, I don't care, and they probably don't want to do it, and I have no problem calling them out. So I know I've said it 1,000 times about my bike having been stolen from a dealership. Well, I'm going to give you their name because they say they'll work with me, but they're not going to work with me the way they should. And they improperly stored my bike, and they told me that. And they didn't say it was improperly stored. This is how you store a bike. You take your keys, you lock them up somewhere. That's how you store a bike. You don't store a bike over the weekend with a key in the ignition. So what they did was, this dealership's called LSK at 11, and I have no problem giving them some negative feedback. I don't care, because you don't store bikes with their keys in the ignition, because whether you say it's running or not, if that bike turns on The bike, like, you don't store a bike with keys in the ignition because, like, if someone steals it, all they have is parts if they don't have the key. Not a bike they can potentially fix or that runs that they can just ride off on. So what they did was they have a chain link, like, okay, so say this white stripe is the end of the building. And then a chain link fence would go from, like, this white stripe out to, like, that electrical pole, right? So they basically lock all of their bikes, all their used bikes and stuff, in that chain link fence. If you notice, if you ever go by there, the dealership has no key in any of the dealership bikes. But on the bikes they work on, when they stored these specific bikes, there was like 12 total that was stolen. When they stored them, they put the keys in the ignition because, and I quote, they weren't running. As you guys might have seen in the video, my bike would turn on and it would roll, but it wasn't throttled. Technically not running, but still improperly stored. All it was clutch plates. That's a quick, easy, cheap fix. Now, the bike has been gutted. So, what I want is a dealership to replace my bike with one of like or similar value. Can be older, can be bigger, I don't care. Or they need to repair my bike, replace all the parts free of charge. Reasoning for that is they essentially caused it. Every bike that was stolen had a key in the ignition. So as far as anybody stealing the bikes, without actually turning them on, saw bikes that would potentially run. But it's also a reason why I think it was an inside job, because how would you know which bikes to steal, like which bikes were not the dealerships, if there was no labeling sign except for the labels on the bikes? So that's my thing. I'm like, and if their dealership doesn't really pay that bike off like they're supposed to, I'll sue them because I don't care. I know a good lawyer in St. Louis who has had people lay in puddles and gotten them $250,000. So I'm sure I can get more. Oh, I got a cop behind me. I'm probably gonna get pulled over for recording. I don't even care. But I'm sure I can get more for. I have to drop it down. I'm sorry for the terrible view, guys. Sorry for the terrible view. But I do basically. Jesus Christ, guy, you're getting close. I gotta really drop this thing down. This truck is trashed because the person who owns it hasn't fully moved into their place. I'm pretty much fully moved in. For my roommates. So I'm just like, I hate whatever state troopers. This guy is like slowly creeping up on me, and I'm wondering if he expects to catch me messing up or something. I don't know. I might have passed him with the phone up, but I'd appreciate if he went there we go, he's going around. I just gotta set the phone down because, sorry for the black view, but that's just the way it goes. Oh, I have a headphone in. Shit. Oh, it was Jeff City Police. That's nothing to worry about. But I had my headphone in, and I don't know if you can hear me very well because I dropped it due to the fact of not wanting to get pulled over. But essentially, he was doing 65, and I was doing 65. I completely lost it. Playing with it right now. But, hang on, that's the wrong one. Essentially, he was doing 65, I was doing 65. I didn't want him behind me because I can't record when he's behind me. So I set the phone down, pulled my earphone out because, well, it's illegal to drive with anything in your ears in the state of Missouri, which is stupid. Because you have a radio, why can't you have an earphone in? But I digress. But anyways, yeah, that's the story with LSK. There were several bikes taken. All of them have pretty much been gutted, exact same way. So I'm thinking that it was an inside job, because they'd have to know where they were locked up at, where to go to, for everything. I mean, they caught the guys pretty quick, but it's one of those things where if LSK won't work with me the way they should, and they want to try to make some money off of it, I'm just gonna tell them that I'm gonna put the bike back together myself because I'd rather take my time and buy the parts as I go through rather than take a bike, because they took off quite a bit. but I have to get the parts and stuff back from them if they took off. Because I found out that stuff that I thought was taken off by, ooh, that's a beautiful bike. I wish I could have had my phone up for it. But essentially, stuff that I thought was taken by the thieves was actually taken off by the dealership. And so they have a lot of stuff. The cops up there 2 cars ahead. But they have a lot of stuff from my bike over there, like the fairings and stuff. But there was stuff. Ooh, did I mess up? Oh, I messed up. Son of a gun. No, I didn't. I'm in the right spot. But it was just the way they stored it was improper. You don't store any bike with keys in it. That you could go to any dealership and they'll tell you don't store a bike with keys in it, whether it's running or not. I'm beginning to think this dealership's crooked, like slowly becoming crooked. They're a Kawasaki dealer, which sucks, because I love that bike brand. I love every bike, to an extent. I love the way they look. I love the way they feel. I love every bike, except for Harley. And I'm going to explain why Harleys shake as bad as they do, and why everybody says they're underpowered pieces of crap. They are extremely inefficient because of the way they're designed. So essentially, on a Harley, you have two pistons on a Harley. That's an easy way to describe it. Your piston essentially compresses your fuel and air mixture, and it releases it. It also helps to release it. So as your piston's making one rotation down, it could be doing the intake portion. And then it closes, so as it's going up, it's compressing it, right? Now, what's going on as it goes up is when it hits the top, we call it the power stage. The power stage basically ignites the fuel using your spark plug, and the piston goes down, and as it comes back up, it's starting to do the exhaust portion. And as it comes back, and there's a little bit of valve overlap, which means both your intake and exhaust valves are open at the same time. Well, the way the Harleys are made, and everybody's seen the V design for them, right? So basically what happens is this piston and this piston essentially fire at the exact same time. It's a boom, boom. And then you have to wait a full 720 degree turn before they do that. And I haven't taken apart one of their engines to see how their counterweights work. But essentially, that's why they shake like they do and why they don't get as much horsepower, because it makes them extremely inefficient. Now, a lot of other 4-stroke engines, you have one piston raising as the other's lowering. And what that causes, I'm sorry to only have a finger, but I'm driving and I can't really draw this up. And essentially what that causes is its own counterweight, and basically one piston is firing every 360 degrees like a 2-stroke engine, except it's a 4-stroke because they take 720 degrees. So one will go up, do the intake portion, or one will go up at top dead center, start going down for the intake, and then start going up. Well, as it's going back up, the other one's coming down for the intake. So the way that kind of works is weird, but as one's firing, the other one's starting to compress the air and fuel mixture while the exhaust is happening. That way, it's not waiting as long, but it's still essentially pulling them. Now, a 4-cylinder would be great, because then you could have all 4 cylinders firing one after another and have a continuous cycle, which would give you more consistent horsepower, and it would give you more fuel efficiency, because it wouldn't require as much fuel to keep it going at lower RPMs. Even higher RPMs, it wouldn't require that much more, because you're having consistent power. There's no real loss of power, because you have one going, if they all start separate from each other, so if you have 4 valves stacked, if you do it clockwise or however, counterclockwise, doesn't really matter. Essentially what's happening is 2 valves will be on intake while 2 valves are on exhaust, and that'll allow you to do a full consistent line of power, and they count as their own counterweights, which will get you more horsepower. But you could also do them single firing, which is not recommended, because then you need counterweights for days, and it could potentially shake like a Harley if you have all 4 going non-stop, not really in tune with one another. I mean, they're in tune, but they would be essentially, you'd have a piston going off here, couple milliseconds later, another one goes off. Well, now these two are both on the exhaust at just about the same time. When they're on the exhaust, like you have another one going and then another one, and then you create essentially this vacuum of space where there's nothing happening in the engine, which would make it fire like a Harley. And I don't like the idea of my bike shaking all the bolts loose. That's a lot of Loctite that I don't want to use and don't want to put in the bike. So there's that. So your biggest thing is when you do an engine, 2-strokes are a lot easier. They're going to smoke. A 2-stroke smokes. That's what they do. They burn oil, fuel, and air at the same time. That's why if you ride a 2-stroke, or if you know someone with a 2-stroke and they keep a lot of oil on hand, it's because they are burning that oil in their fuel and air mixture. If they're burning too much oil, it's going to smoke like it's mosquito repellent. But if it's a correct formula, it's going to have a little bit of white smoke, much like your car exhaust does. Like looks like it on a cold morning. I don't know how many of you guys get up early enough to be in like 50 to 60 degree weather, or if you get around cold weather. But essentially, you could see the heat from the exhaust, and it looks like a white smoke. And that's just from your fuels and stuff burning. You can actually see the smoke at that point. What's happening is on a 2-stroke, it does that at pretty much the same rate because it's consistently burning off all of your fuel and oil. God, another beautiful bike. There's no such thing as a bad bike. There's bikes. Oh, these brakes are trash. I haven't had to stop at all since I got going. But essentially, I gotta drop the phone down. I don't know where cops are gonna be sitting. Essentially, your bikes are just like I had to spit. But it's dumb. Your bikes work weird. But I can't wait to start to go back and reassemble this engine and see if I can get it to fire back up. Because it was working. It was a brand new engine whenever I got a hold of it. So there's that. Guys, let me know what you want to see on the channel. If you want me to rebuild the 400 instead of having LSK do it, let me know. Put it in the comments. Share this video with your friends. Share it on Facebook. Share it everywhere. Subscribe. Hit the notification button. If you decide that, like, honestly, I'm going to do random giveaways. So at 50,000, I'll probably start doing gear giveaways. But I need your guys' help to get me there. Maybe 100,000. We'll see how it looks. I might try to do a bike giveaway. I might rebuild the 400. Basically completely rebuild it. Put everything new on there. New handlebars and everything. New forks. I don't know what the forks look like. I know the forks were good when I had it. When it broke down on me. But still, I don't know exactly how it's looking. So what I want you guys to do, let me know what you want me to see. Comment, share, subscribe, get your friends to like the videos, and I'll be doing a ton of giveaways as soon as I start hitting 50,000 subscribers. Every like 50,000 subscribers, I want to do a giveaway. I want to do gear, parts, bike giveaways when I get up to the higher couple 100,000. So guys, seriously, get the subscribers. Let it, get your friends to subscribe. Get your friends to watch the videos. Because the sooner we get there, the sooner I can start these giveaways. So, I think I'm going to miss my ramp here. Yeah, I am totally missing my ramp because I am lost in the sauce. So I'm gonna get off of here, figure out how to get to where I'm going, and get that. But guys, seriously, subscribe. I'm probably gonna change my name again. Probably gonna change it over to, like, depending on what my next bike is. I prefer Kawasaki, but if I don't get a Kawasaki, I'm gonna get Ducati. So I know where I can get a little cheap Ducati, like, and ride that off today. So if I can't get the bike I want, I'll probably change my name. Probably do something simple, something similar to Hunter Honda. That guy makes a lot of good content. So, and he's in the Dallas, he's like in the Texas area. So, give him a look. But I'm in like right now I'm in like the St. Louis area, St. Louis, Jeff City area. So if you watch the videos and I get another bike and you want to ride with me, let me know. Like, message me, inbox me, let me know. We can meet up and go for a ride. Ooh, Chipotle. But yeah, guys, let me know what you want to see, what you'd like to see, and I will try to make some content for you guys that ask for specific stuff. Don't ask for more wrecking videos. I'd rather not wreck again. I have scars on my right arm. My left arm is going to be my tattoo arm, I think, because, let's face it, the scars are taking up enough space. But anyway, guys, let me know, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.